Hi, good morning. This is Cynthia. um, it is a balmy 31 degrees in Cincinnati right now. It's supposed to be up to a warm 40 degrees, which is amazing. It's supposed to snow on the weekend. We might get 3 inches, we might get 12. I'm not sure. But I'll be out there with my snowblower, clearing it away so that it doesn't turn into ice and make it so I can't get out of my driveway. Um, Today, I want to talk about being content with being home and alone. I spend a lot of time at home, and I really, really like it. I think that probably has to do with the fact that I've been running around it's been just now a year that I retired. How I retired was that my client that I was taking care of, I had to send her to the hospital the first week in January of last year because she had COPD and she was having a breathing event, and she would only pay me to be there 3 hours a day, and I wasn't going to be able to be there, and she clearly needed to go to the hospital and couldn't be by herself. So I just said, "You've got to go to the hospital." And she didn't want to do that, but there really was no other choice. She really needed the help. And then there was 2 months where she was in and out of the hospital and to a skilled nursing facility. And almost exactly 2 months later, she passed. So the first 2 months that I was retired, it felt pretty strange because I thought she probably wasn't coming home because I'd been watching her get progressively more and more ill, and she would not help herself in any way. She wanted to continue doing the things that she was doing and eating the things that she wanted to eat. And so, I've had that battle with her for 16 years. After a while, you just go, okay, fine. You do what you want to do. It's not going to end well. But, and indeed it did not, or maybe it did. But because of all the craziness, I also had another job. I was working for Instacart, working for her for years and years, and so wishing that I could be home because I really have always liked to be home. But so now, for now a whole year, I've gotten to be mostly home. Now I do go out. I make sure that I go out a couple of times a week, go to the store, do a little shopping, clothes shopping. Don't do much of that anymore. I've got so many clothes. I'm getting rid of a bunch of them, but I'm kind of paring it down. And so the other thing that I do, I'm doing projects around the house a little bit at a time. I always have a lot of things going on in my head. I'm always planning. I'm always deciding what I'm going to do next, whether that's buy this or, I'm going to buy a different car, and what am I going to. So I'm always planning in my head. So that keeps me from being lonely because I'm always thinking. Number 2, I talk with friends online. I have a few friends, as time goes on, less and less of them across the country. I have a friend in New York who I've known for 40 years. I have friends in California where I came from. And so a lady that I talk with all the time in Ecuador. And so I reach out to them and talk with them. I also make it a point to anybody that I'm friends with, and their birthday pops up, I always say happy birthday to them, just as something nice to do. Some people probably don't even remember who I am. You get these friends and you unfollow them and you never watch what they're doing. So I think that's funny. I also send cards to people, birthday cards, keep my family together. uh, minimally. In other words, all of the almost all of the people on my husband's side of the family, except for one cousin, are now gone. And then on my side of the family, there's me and two sisters-in-law and a niece, and that's my entire family. So I do make an effort to keep in touch with them, text them, not all the time, but it adds up, and I feel like I'm sort of, in the, understanding what's going on in their lives and stuff. So reach out to people. I also go visit people in the hospital if there's somebody in the hospital. I was visiting my sister-in-law every week, and then starting in January last year, and then it went to every 2 weeks, and then the last several months before she died, she asked me to come every week, so I was doing that and visiting people in the hospital because I'm a nursing assistant and I worked in a convalescent hospital, which we used to call them, now we call them skilled nursing facilities. So it doesn't bother me like it would a lot of people, and I feel like when people are in the hospital, they don't get a lot of visitors usually, unless they're incredibly popular, and even then probably not that many. So using my computer, being on YouTube, being on Facebook during the day. I do exercises during the day, small, not huge things, but to keep my agility and my balance and that kind of stuff. So that works really well, and those things keep me, not only my body agile, but my mind agile as well. And I babysit my grandkids from time to time, and I love that. I've got two little guys. One's 4 and one's 1.5, going on 2, 1.5 really now. No, 2.5 now. And oh, yeah, no, she's going on 2.5. And so that's really fun. I very much enjoy that. So reaching out to people, doing things for people. At Christmas time, I make cookies for neighbors. When it snows, I use my snow blower, and my neighbors next door, I use a snow blower to get the snow out of their driveway too, so they don't have to do that. Just being considerate and doing nice things for people. And when I mail Christmas cards to people, sometimes I get a few back. So that's good. I don't expect them to. I do it because I like to do it, and I plan, and I buy Christmas cards, in January, and that's just something. It's a fun activity for me. I don't expect people to send cards back or do whatever, and it's just kind of a novelty these days, because most people, if they send a card, they send an electronic card, which is lovely, and they're entirely different thing, but I just like to do that old-fashioned thing. And also, I feel like my house is, for me, a refuge. It was built in 1950. It's very simple. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles of a brand new house that runs with electricity, and if electricity goes out, nothing works. This one is just, very simple, very 1950s. And I find that really comforting. My family is all gone, and I'm the last one. And when I was a teenager, I would go visit. I've been doing this my whole life. So when I was a teenager, I'd go visit my grandmother, who was my dad's mom. And when I was littler, my dad would take me to visit her. And then when she was older, she went to live with my dad. And my dad built a whole extra addition onto the back of his house. There had been a good-sized bedroom, and he blew out the wall and put another whole size bedroom area. It was all open, but so she had a bedroom and a living room, a sitting room. And so I would go visit her. And she said to me one time, and this is probably a year or two before she died, and I went to see her, and she said, she was almost 91 when she died, and a couple months before she turned 91. And she said to me, I'm all alone. Everybody's gone. It's just me. And that really struck me at the time because I felt like that was, she didn't mean it that way. She was just saying what she said, but I felt like that's going to be me too. So at 70, I plan on living. She lived to be 90. My dad lived to be 88. My mom was 85. And she smoked. My mom smoked for 70 years. And my dad drank really hard liquor and did smoke a pipe for years. My grandma didn't do any of that. And so I take really good care of my body. I really put a lot of effort into giving it the nutrients it needs, because a lot of the nutrients that we that leave kind of actually we use up in our bodies, you can replace those things, very basic kinds of things. And so I'm always doing that, and I'll do videos on specific things that that I use for specific, the most useful things. And so all that is, I guess, to say that I am always thinking. I'm super busy in my head, even if I'm not busy in my house. And it's just so peaceful. As we grow older, I've noticed this with the seniors that I took care of over the years, and it just becomes, if there's too much going on, it just feels like too much. It's just nice to be in the peace, in the solitude, for me. Not everybody's like that. I'm very much more of an introvert, sort of more of a loner kind of person. I'm very one-on-one. I love talking. I love people. I love talking with people, but I'm not that person who likes to walk into a crowd. My husband was like that. My husband was, the more people, the better. He wanted to talk to all of them. So it was a good balance, right? So that's why I'm content of all those things that I do, and then also where I am in my mind. And I'm going to do, I think that maybe the next video, or at least soon, I'm going to do a video about my dreams, because I have dreams of things that I still want to do, and I intend to be around for a long time and be healthy and be able to do all those things. So anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. I like to give people ideas about what they might like to do. And so I will see you on the next one in a couple of days. Thanks very much. And please tell me what you like to do when you're home. And I'd be interested to know. So thanks very much. Talk with you soon. Bye-bye.